Oh, some people don't like the singing, and some people don't like it when I say internet. That's life. What's up, everybody? It's Friday. Speaking of life, I see River Life in the chat. What's up, Rack? How you doing? I just, I'm playing off of, the words I'm saying. What up, everybody? How you doing? First to the chat today, 54 Punchy, quickly followed by Joel G of New Zealand. Rocky's Rocky, Maccan. Maybe it's like Mackin, like Mackin dog. Richard's Tanks is here. Good to see you. Wicked Tanks by Wicked Industrials, NC. I'm guessing that's North Carolina. Or New Chocolate? I would go with the New Chocolate. That sounds delicious. Is like New Chocolate it's like dark chocolate, but it's more delicious even. Sounds great. The Fishy Mailman is here. What is up? Good to see you. Sorry, I'm taking in copious amounts of caffeine today. I'm going crazy with my coffee. Fish Ion Tank Ticks is here. What's up? Preston John. What is up, Preston John? He says he's going to make a live stream. He might be able to meet the live stream fairly soon. We got some secret surprises in the works for you guys, which I am very excited about. He seems like a real straight shooter. Communication. Number one from that guy. Hopefully we'll be meeting up with him fairly soon, and I'll be able to show you guys something pretty cool, maybe. We'll see. Hopefully it works out. Hopefully the schedule works out. I don't want to get super excited, and I don't want to spoil it. I definitely don't want to spoil it, because then people would be like, man, if it didn't work out, that would be the worst. And I'd be like, no. But I hope it works out. Fingers crossed, and it will be super cool if it does happen. I'll probably be having ants in my pants and freaking out, So that'll be pretty fun. Let me say hello to a couple more people in the chat. Daryl Deemer is here. Aiden Payne with the letter E. Question mark. I don't know. I'm confused. Also. Let's see. Rhombus with our first super chat of the day. Still a mysterious number, which I just basically I still haven't figured it out. I know that at some point in time that is going to I'm going to be able to figure that out. Oh, hold on. Let me see here. This might be it. Let me get me no, I want to go the other way. Is that the other way? Hold on. I want a 1 here. 1. 906. No, it's not. It's not the $1 conversion. I don't know. I'm confused. Still confused. I thought maybe I had figured it out, but I had not figured it out, and I still it's still a mystery. But thank you for the super chat. Rumbust, a long-time supporter here. I see a bunch of long-time supporters in the chat, like Mr. Daryl Deemer and the Fishy Mailman. If you guys don't know, the Fishy Mailman is been ever so generously supporting my channel, and my hat's off. Thank you very much. I feel like I don't know how to say thank you enough. So I'll say it during the show. Thanks, my man. I very much appreciate it. It is it's more than generous, and it doesn't fall on deaf ears. It does not fall on deaf ears, my friend. So I like I said, everybody that supports it doesn't. Thank you to everybody. I'm just highlighting one of the supporters, which is dope. Thanks, man. 54 Punchy posted the link as to how to support the show if you like. I guess the reason I bring this up early is because I'm sitting here. I'm basically flipping a coin on a decision, you guys. As you all know, I have never had a gimbal. I've never personally had a gimbal myself. Never. I never have. Now, Zion, I think, Zion, I don't really know how to say it, is coming out with a new camera gimbal. It's basically how you guys see people get those walking shots that are perfectly smooth. It's a thing that levels your camera all the time, and it's like, it's got gyroscopic motors in it that basically keep your camera perfectly smooth. So you could do stuff like, you know, run up a mountain trail and it not be super shaky video, right? I've never had one. I've always just kind of I've always just used my hands and my strap and that kind of stuff. But Zion actually has one that's coming out that is very intriguing to me at this point. It looks like one that I could actually utilize. And so I'm kind of flipping a coin right now, as I think I mentioned in some previous shows, pretty much everything last month pretty much went into the aquatic experience, like going out to the aquatic experience, you know, hotels, airfare, food, all that kind of stuff. You know, parking my car costs $60, you know. So a lot of it went into that. So I guess it was just kind of initially on my mind. It's initially kind of like on my mind as to, like, you know, do I want to spend the essentially like the funding money, right, from you guys on that? Now, I don't know. I don't know your guys' opinion. I'm wondering what your guys' opinion is. I'm sure you guys will be able to let me know in the chat as the night goes on here, of just like, what do you think? Just go for it or what? I don't know. So, as the famous Aquarius says, is it worth getting one for fish photography? I think it is. I think ultimately it is, mainly because as you have to move around the tank and kind of reposition all of the time at weird people's places. Well, I guess not weird people's places. Places that are weird to me. Like, I go to a new place and I go to someone's new fish room, and like, or a fish room that's new to me. There we go. And I'm weirded out because I'm just like, I don't know where everything is. Like, the lighting is weird. You know, it's like, why are these just lights shining from over here? Now the fish are running away. That kind of stuff. It is seemingly come in pretty handy. I know as far as workflow goes, I can spend a long time in someone that spends a long time in fish rooms that I'm comfortable in. I can spend a long time and get really good shots. Now, as you guys know, we've been editing a ton of fish room tours. I actually have, I think we did 13 fish room tours when we were in Minnesota. And as we were out in Minnesota, we went to so many rooms, and we really only had a short period of time at each one. You know, it's like, it realistically, you know, we'd be there like a half an hour, 40 minutes, something like that. So a lot of the shots I got are like, oh man, look at this guy. This guy does he even know which end is the pointy end out of the camera? As Donald's Fish Vibe says, a gimbal is about $250. That's an easy purchase. So the one that I'm looking at is, as you guys know, I literally was going to turn around and grab my camera, but it's still in the fish room doing a time lapse. So the one that I'm looking at is like $560. So it's a little significant little chunk of money. You know what I mean? It's not, obviously it's not like $1 million or anything crazy like that. But it's the new one that they have coming out. The old ones, I wasn't super happy with their performance in relation to myself. Mainly just me being like, oh man, I think I'll have too many problems with this one. But the new one, it has like locking positions on it. You can turn the handle around the other way. and do a lot of things that would be useful for me, especially with a lot of the outdoor stuff that I need to start filming coming up in the next couple of months. I'm going to be filming a lot of outdoor stuff, so I do need to get a lot of those low to the ground like walking shots, and this one to actually do that as opposed to the other one that sort of made me feel like I was going to break, like I was straining something in my back when I was using them. Whereas this one, you can actually just hold it straight down like this and kind of cruise along with it that way. So, you know, I figure I'd bring it up if you guys, I don't know. I figure if you guys can contribute to flipping the coin, I don't know. You guys could let me know what you think. We got a bunch of super chats here. I better not miss the super chats. You know what I'm saying? As people were saying, this is a star-studded live stream today. Yes, we've got Tank Tested, KG Tropicals, Brian's Fish Tanks. If you haven't checked out Brian's Fish Tanks video on my channel, you should definitely check it out if you get a chance. Fairly new, so it'll be easy to find. Brian has a ton of awesome stuff, and I have to figure out when I could invade Brian's house and just like stay there for a day somehow and just be like, yeah, man, I'm here for the whole day. You know, when we were there, we literally only had like 45 minutes or something like that. So, you know, we'll get it to that point. James Leister says, will it allow you to film easier while on baby duty or get any family movies? That is a big contributing factor right now, that I'm considering getting a gimbal because of, you know, being able to shoot with my daughter. My daughter is coming. She will be here very soon. And yes, I will have her strapped to my body however I can, you know, strap her to me. But I'm assuming that that's one of the big obstructions that I'm going to be dealing with, is that she'll be strapped to my body. Obviously, that means there's not a lot of room for camera straps. You know what I mean? To like, I don't want to like harm my baby because I'm trying to get the shot with a camera strap. You know what I mean? So, and obviously my cameras are a little bit bigger, a little bit heavier. I have the Canon 6D Mark II is what I normally shoot with. It's a pretty heavy camera. I know that the EOS R has come out. The A7 III has come out, but I have no budget for any of that nonsense, you know? So, I mean, literally, they literally, are just too heavy for some of the lighter weight gimbals. Or my cameras are too heavy for some of the lighter weight gimbals that are out there, and the new lighter weight cameras, there we go, are way out of my budget. So, as much as I would love to shoot with an A7 III or the EOS R, the new mirrorless Canon that came out, I don't have $5,000 to be doing any of that nonsense. So, you know. The famous Aquarius says, get a Note 9. They have slow-mo, hyperlapse, and may do the same thing. I do have a Galaxy Note 9, actually. I literally have that phone. And yes, I can do the hyperlapse and that kind of stuff with them, but I honestly don't want to incorporate I don't want to incorporate my phone into my filming process. I guess it's just, I know that it's a viable tool. It's a really good, you know, my phone is a really good tool. I think it's fantastic. I think from all of the conversations and development stuff, working with Corey from Aquarium Co-op, about him trying to convert to just using a cell phone, I just don't think that they're there yet. Even the Note 9 is just not there yet. It doesn't really have the depth of field. It doesn't have you know, the autofocus. It just really doesn't. I think 5 or 6 years from now, there will be cell phones that will pretty much blow everything out of the water, but I don't know if the companies will actually release them or not. I don't know if any of the companies that have that technology will actually be like, oh yeah, we're really going to put the we're really gonna put those out that will just kill the camera companies. You know what I mean? So I don't know, and I would also guess that by then the camera companies will be so much further ahead of the cell phones that I don't know. One of the big things is that it's one of the big things is that like 4K, 8K, all that kind of stuff, and then also the sensor size. There's just so much a bigger sensor. You know, you got to think like this is an adapter from my small camera, and you just get an idea how much bigger the sensor is than, you know, the pinhole cameras that are on phones and stuff. So, Nathaniel John, howdy everyone. Been away for a while. Just got home with our new daughter. Oh, man, I'm going to be doing that pretty soon myself. Congratulations. I'm so glad to hear that. I think, gosh, did you send me an email or a message or something like that about your new daughter? I don't remember. Somebody did. Now I'm forgetting. But either way, congratulations. It's great to hear that. Let's see here. Mad Tanks is here. What's up, guy? Good to see you. Aquatic Life MS says, where do you start when breeding a fish that has never been documented breeding in an aquarium? It's a specific species of darter, Yazoo darter, endemic to Yazoo River in Mississippi and Alabama. Okay, so where to start with breeding a fish? First of all, you need to find out when that fish breeds in the wild. You have to find out what season it is. It's going to be the easiest way to go about it. You're going to find out what season it is, and then you're going to have to find out what the water parameters are during that season. Do they change? Do they stay exactly the same? Does the temperature change? Does the the amount of dissolved minerals and things like that, does it change? Is there a flood? Is there a lot of rain? Is there something like that? What is the trigger that is triggering their spawning, right? That's essentially what you need to figure out. And this holds true to pretty much any fish out there, is that they all have some kind of, essentially they all have some kind of trigger that says, boy howdy, it's time to breed. You know, with betta fish, it typically is just a mate showing up. You know what I mean? Like with bettas, you can definitely do some water changes and encourage that. Heavy feeding will also prime them, or prime's not the right word. Prep them for breeding and stuff, and get them just kind of, you know, ready to go. You know, if you're feeding them a lot, so it's sort of you're emulating basically the springtime where there's a lot of food, a lot of things for bettas to eat because you know that the cycle of life is happening. There's lots of bugs and you know, like the mosquito larvae and stuff like that is happening that time of year. So that's how that goes, and you have to figure out what it is with those. For instance, those darters, you're gonna have to figure out when they breed and what the water parameters are and what the changes are. You know, there are some fish out there that even go through a light cycle trigger, which is weird. And I'm not 100% on that, whether that's still speculation or somebody has figured that out, but some people have figured out that changing the lights seems to be working for them, like ramping up from 6 hours a day to 12 hours a day or something like that is enough to let the fish know, hey, it's the right season for breeding. So, but the start, where I would start, is what are the seasonal changes in the water where they come from. And Tampa Tom with conditioned, that's the word. I was saying primed. There you go. Conditioned. You want to get them conditioned for breeding. Thank you. Thanks, my man. That's where we're just a little friendly community here. Try to help each other out. I know it's only me talking on the mic, and you know, I wish we did have a bigger show. We had more people here and we could bounce stuff back and forth. But in the meantime, it's just me, and you guys, unfortunately, have to type everything in. I'm going to do my best to bring more people on the show at some point in time. I don't know when that's going to happen, but still, to this day, the remote going back and forth just, it doesn't seem that great. Freedom Aquatic says, I need to bring my headset hunting next time so I can hear what's going on. Yes, you definitely need your headphones while you're out hunting. I mean, me yammering on the speaker there is going to run off you know, maybe, well, what season is right now? November season elk? I think it's elk. Is it elk right now? I think deer just closed. I think or maybe it's still open. I don't remember. Oh, check this out. People ask what hunting season is on right now. Waterfowl. Black bear. Oh, man. That's a gangster. Youth Turkey Weekend. Oh, that's May. Let's see. Oh, here we go. We got to open the real, actual one. Oh, it's 900 pages long. Sheesh. Where is it? There should be a... These guys got their font set to 5 or something. Oh, that's not helping. This isn't... I mean, yes, I could read this whole PDF, but you guys would be bored to death. I think if I read that whole PDF off, that somebody might actually like pass out and hit their head on something and probably die. So I'm not going to do that, but maybe you'll let us know what you're out hunting, and then let's see. Killer rabbits, killer turkeys. Give us your elk call. I don't have an elk call, but I do want to go hunt elk in New Zealand. That is for sure. Let's see. Okay, so the famous on the follow-up, I have done it. I bought multicolored glowfish tiger barbs to go with my other tiger barbs. They immediately began shoaling as soon as I introduced them to the tank. Nice. That's always good. All About DIY says it's hot in California. Typical. We never get any good weather here, specifically that stuff they call rain. Yeah, it's always hot down there. All About DIY was here earlier saying, what's happening? I need a new camera for fish stuff like the one that Jimmy has. Shoots great video in 4K, but it's kind of pricey. Yeah, that was kind of the thing I was talking about, is like not necessarily, like I'm not looking to get a new camera, mainly just because it's so much money. And my camera does work fantastically. I really enjoy it. And I was just, it seems to me like the gimbal is going to be the best tool to like utilize that camera moving further on. You know, I mean, my daughter's going to be here and it's going to be hardcore. So if it's a little bit easier to film with my baby, then that might be the big deal right there. Woo. Okay, so let me see. What do we do? Pete Berlinski. He's got a $2.99 super chat, and I feel like I've completely ignored him here because it was quite a while ago. It says, how do I get rid of green spot algae on my Anubias? The easiest way to... So, once algae is on Anubias, the main contributing factor to that is too much direct light. Anubias has long-standing leaves. They kind of have a waxy texture to them. They're really thick, and those leaves will be on there for a long time. It takes a long time for them to die off. If you do have direct light going straight to them, it certainly gives an opportunity for algae to grow, mainly because just all that light hitting that real hard leaf surface allows some algae to grow on it. Now, there are a lot of people out there that use hydrogen peroxide. I do not. I do not do it anymore for two reasons. Number one, I don't like to put chemicals in my aquarium. And number two, I don't like going to the drugstore or whatever. What do you call that? Yeah, the drugstore, right? Yeah. Yeah. I don't like going to the store to go get it. There we go. Just call it a store. I don't like to go to the store to actually get it. So, yeah, don't enjoy that. No. So I don't like doing that, and seems like a big waste. So here's what I do. I will remove any of the... I will essentially remove any of the Anubias that do have some algae growing on the leaves out of the light. I will move them out of the light. A lot of times I'll actually just take those Anubias that do get some algae growing on them and throw them in the sump. I'll just throw them off in a corner of the sump and just leave them over there for, a couple weeks. And by that point in time, normally the algae is broken down to a certain point where I can pretty much just rub it off pretty readily. As I said, there are a lot of people that use the hydrogen peroxide. I don't like it, mainly because I just feel like introducing extra chemicals into the tank always just kind of leads to something negative, possibly. And I like to avoid that, right? Zombie Drummer with a $9.99 super chat saying, Happy Friday! Well, thank you, Zombie Drummer. I wholeheartedly appreciate it. M. Howie9, the $4.99 super chat says he has a Zion gimbal for his phone. It is an excellent piece of equipment. Thanks for the stream. Yeah, I think the new gimbal. I think I talked myself into it while we're on the show here. I don't think. And I don't mean this in a mean way or anything. I don't think you guys are that interested in photography equipment. I get it. I get that you guys aren't into that so much. I'm into it. So, maybe we'll just move on from that topic and I'll just figure it out. Somebody was asking, have I seen Jimmy's new video that came out? Of course I've seen the new video that come out. It's got the Bearded Fish Keeper and Jimmy in it, and some good information for y'all out there. I believe at some point in time I am mentioned in there, so tip of the hat to people that I consider to be good friends, and Jimmy, a real talent, bringing a real good message and a real good deal. You know what I mean? To, I guess, the fish fam, I guess would be the deal. The fish fam. The fish family. Fish family. Where was that thing? I gotta find it here. Where did this thing go? I was trying to find. Oh, yes. Where did my thing go? There it is. There's the thingy. I gotta go into this thingy, and then I gotta make a thingy. Whoops. Hold on. I screwed it up. Okay, here we go. All right. So anybody in the U.S. that is looking for plants, I will literally give you guys a little secret here. There's the link. It takes you to the Aquarium Co-op. If you don't like the Aquarium Co-op or don't know the Aquarium Co-op, I don't know what's up with you, because I have a lot of inner workings with those guys, and there's no reason why anybody would doubt the quality of their products and the quality of their customer service and all of those things. Now, what's really interesting is that your boy Kobe out there has put all of the plants on sale. BF Plants 20. That's the code right there. I had to type it out. Sorry, I had to type it out. I thought I could have copied it, but I had to type it out. So BF Plants 20, that's a Black Friday plants, 20% off. My guy over there has got 20% off, which is pretty amazing. There will be more sales this month. He's kind of staggered the deals out, so you might have to go over there and take a look. If there was something that you were looking for, where did the thing go? I don't know. There's going to be sales on stuff throughout the whole entire month to kind of space them out as to not kill everybody. So maybe you want to go over there and check it out and see what's going on. Either way, they're a huge supporter of the show and very good friends of mine, not only limited to Jimmy and Corey, but Robert, Katie, Justin, the whole team over there. All awesome people, and they're doing really cool stuff. So feel free to go over there, give yourself a little 20% off if you were going to order something. All that kind of deal. Justin Woody said perfect right after I just ordered $80 worth of plants. yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that works as far I'm not saying I know anything one way or another, but you might be able to just send in like an email or I don't know. Maybe an email's the wrong thing, but maybe I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. But I've had experience with companies in the past that like if they put stuff on sale, like right after I ordered, I've like maybe you get a couple dollar refund or something, or maybe like add some extra plants in or something. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not guaranteeing anything. I'm just replying to your comment and just being like, yeah, I don't know how that would work, but we got a $10 super chat from Daryl Deemer. Says for more ice cream, and as we all know, more ice cream means let's go to the video portion of the show. And I had to restart it. Sorry. I was reviewing the video earlier, and it was stuck right where I was reviewing it. As you guys know, I wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update. As you guys know, I have a 150-gallon shrimp tank, Goofy McGoofer tank, which now is clearly being outshined by the overwhelming success of Flip Aquatics and his 480-gallon shrimp tank, which still didn't have any shrimp in it. So, I'm calling you out right now, Rob. You didn't even have any shrimp in the tank that said it was going to be a shrimp-only tank. Like, where's the shrimp at? Did anybody notice that? There was no shrimps. It was, like, advertised as 10,000 shrimp, but there was no shrimp in there. So maybe he doesn't have the biggest shrimp tank just yet until he clearly is going to put some shrimp in there. I'm sure he's going to put a ton of shrimp in there. But I was like, man, there's not even any shrimp in there. You don't have the biggest one yet. But that means now we have a problem, you guys, because I only have a 150-gallon shrimp tank. Now I'm going to have not the biggest shrimp tank around. Now I'm going to have to figure out how to get a 600 built. I don't know how I'm going to do that. The 120s basically killed me. Boop, 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 boop. So now I don't know how I'm going to get a 600 built. I know that the local builder here that built mine, from Jason from Clear Fabrications, as you guys know, he built Corey's 800, so he can definitely do it. He just got done building a 600-gallon plus a frag tank and all this other stuff for Rogue Aquariums, which looks super awesome. So, man, now I'm going to have to figure out how to do a 600 so I can outshine Rob's 480 shrimp tank. I don't know. I guess I'm just gonna have to keep upping the ante until I can literally have the biggest shrimp tank around. I don't know. Miss Lininator says, where would I put a 600-gallon room edition? Oh, hell yeah. I would if I could. Let me put it this way. I don't know how much a 600-gallon costs to build. I would have to contact Jason, but I do know that Corey said on one of his videos, I think that the 800-gallon cost $12,000. I think. I think it was $12,000. So I think if I had a $12,000 budget, I would 100%. I would pour a new pad and put a building around it. Oh, yeah. And I would make videos about me building the actual building. And actually show you guys how to build the actual building. Well, just kind of the guy I am, Bentley Pascal says, time for a 2,000-gallon concrete pond. I just got done doing a pond, and you guys will be able to see that tomorrow. That video, it's like just a little bit of a vlog. Give you guys, it's a very much not an informative kind of video. It's just sort of a fun little video of working on the pond. Just so those of you that may or may not know, there's now a pond at Corey's house. We put in a new pond there. It's actually running. Still does have some finish work to do, a couple pieces of trim and stuff like that. But it's all plumbed. It's been running, stuff like that. So this is a little bit of a fun pond video will be coming out tomorrow on my channel here, and you guys will be able to check that out. I don't know how informative it is, so if you guys are going into it trying to get real information, it's just kind of a fun video. It's kind of music playing and stuff like that, and just highlighting the building process. Let's see here. Let me try to catch up with the chat. Joel, I was surprised how much they fit into the Mandalay Bay Aquarium. Not bad for what it was. Oh, yeah, I don't... Oh yeah, I went to the Mandalay Bay Aquarium for not long because we were there for Super Zoo, so we had all the exhibitors and everything to like kind of deal with at Super Zoo. Didn't get any sponsors while we were at Super Zoo. Didn't get any sponsors while we were at Inner Zoo, other than Fluval, which, by the way, Fluval totally tripping. By the way, they did sponsor the replacement lights on the reef. When the reef went down, those guys were totally cool to hook up some of the 24-inch reef lights that fit on there. They found out I was using those old the black box Chinese LEDs, which those do work. I will tell you, those do work. But so far, my review would be this: the black box LEDs work. The Fluval reef lights work way better. If anybody out there knows anything about reef tanks, I will say this. Over the past month, my coralline algae has been growing awesome. I've been spreading the purple coralline all over the place, whereas the Chinese black box LEDs, they would basically either burn it, bleach it, or it wouldn't grow at all. So I'm very happy with the Fluval lights. But all those trips amounted to some reef lights, basically, as far as any kind of sponsorship goes. So, yeah, not bad. Not a bad deal. Not a bad deal. Fly all around and drive all around, road trip, and spend money on gas and hotels and stuff. Could probably just bought the lights for cheaper. But I'm happy to have been in those experiences. I definitely love and cherish the memories. That's for sure. It was a lot of fun. Miss Lininator with a $4.99 super chat saying for a new tank. Well, thank you very much. Luckily, your super chat will get put right into the new tanks that are in the fish room. There are new 120s in there, which today I finally got one of them. Put some water. There is water in one of those tanks today. Well, one of the sumps has water in it. I'm building the hardscapes for them and trying to film that. And definitely had some good results from the spray foam, and at a real bad result from the spray foam when I got it on my shirt. I was very much unhappy about that interaction, was when I got it on all over my shirt. So, not the worst thing, definitely. But as far as the two main planted tanks that are running right now, the 150 and the 240, and then the other project tanks I got going on, everything is running pretty well. Most everything is growing. The pink flamingo Crips, I don't know if we took any time to talk about that, but Dennerle was super generous to bring some of the pink flamingo Crips, cryptocrine plants. They were happy. They were very generous to bring some of those over with them because they knew that Corey and I were both looking for them. And one of the big issues, having talking to Stefan Hummel, who's the guy who worked on the tissue culture for those. One of the big issues with them being so rare right now is that the pink flamingo Crips are actually Wendetii. They're a Wendetii that was growing weirdly, basically. They observed, wait a minute, after this whole field of Wendetii that they had growing, they had one that was growing a little bit odd. So they kind of propagated that one to figure out what was going on, and then it just was growing this really crazy pink color, so it's this really pink crypt. It is a really cool plant. I did give some to, let's see. Who did I give some to? Did I give some to Bentley? I think I gave some to Bentley. I know for a fact I gave some to Kangley Twin Cities Guppies and someone else who escapes my mind right now. But I'm definitely trying to spread those around as much as I can because they are a beautiful plant. And as you guys know, me just keeping rare stuff is just ridiculous. That's not my goal. My goal is to, help the community out as much as possible with the things that I can when I can. Let's see, and so trying to spread that around. As I told you guys in an earlier video, when I came back from Aquatic Experience, I realized that Southwest Airlines just doesn't even. They don't do anything for their cargo hold. So a bunch of that stuff got frozen. A bunch of that stuff got frozen and stuff in the flight. They just did not do that well. So just doing the best to kind of turn them around. And I'll definitely be showing those to you guys in the next couple of weeks. If they make it, or even if they don't, I'll probably do something about that. But the big issue that they were having is that they couldn't really propagate from the tissue culture. They couldn't get it to just keep growing like they normally do. So that's the big reason for it not being available. It's not so much that they were trying to hold it back or withhold it or anything like that. It's just that they were unable to propagate very much from the tissue cultures. So they just kept these little minor problems that they were having. It's just very difficult process. So they're gonna keep working on it, and we're gonna keep working on it as hobbyists and see if we can't just grow it here, and we'll see. Miss Lenator loves Dennerley. I love Dennerley too. I really love that company. I hope I can do more projects with them in the future. We'll see how it goes. They've done a lot of cool stuff, especially like hosting a trip to go all the way out to Germany, and try, make some videos and stuff like that, and get to tour some facilities. I had a great time, and I hope to go back. Let's see. Lloyd's Aquatics says, I work at a fish store, and I'm wondering how I can get my ideas across. We have over 100 tanks of fresh water, but nothing really stands out. Fish-wise, we have some fancy plecos, but that's about it. Lloyd, I will tell you this. Almost every single, what's the word? Almost every single fish store owner, there we go, that I've ever known, is, I wouldn't say necessarily stubborn or anything like that, but they definitely are like, I know what I want to do. I know what's right. I know what's this. I know what's that. And it's also the same kind of deal from having dealt with so many restaurant owners and restaurateurs in the past. A person that's brought to mind is a guy I know that I did work with that kept telling me that he knew what the menu was supposed to be at a restaurant, right? And he's like, I know what people like, and we should have to put all of the stuff on there that people like. And the reality is like, okay, if you don't have a good quality product, it doesn't matter what you're selling to people. And the way that I would relate this to most people out there is like, if you go to the food court at the mall, right? Like, let's say you're in the unfortunate situation of you're at an old mall that has an old food court in it with a bunch of like really rundown kind of crappy restaurants there. Now, people that are kind of stuck at the mall may or may not eat there, right? Because they're just like, I need to get something to eat. Okay, I'm here. I'll get something to eat. They get something to eat. So, like 2 weeks later, when you're thinking about going out to eat, do you think, man, I need to go back to the mall and eat at that place that I ate at before? Right? You don't. You're like, no, I think I want to go somewhere else that was nicer. It might even be just the same price. It was just nicer to have gone to a different place. Now, at the mall here, there's a place called Tai Fung. It is a dumpling place. It is actually a big chain around the world, but there isn't that many of them in the U.S. They make these awesome dumplings and stuff like that. That's actually at the mall. So do you think dumplings and Asian food is really like, it's not really a standout kind of thing, right? But their food is such quality. Their service is such quality. They do such a great job that people will drive all around, go to the mall just to go there to eat, right? Now, I think an aquarium store has the exact same thing going on it, right? I think that most aquarium stores, fish stores, they're all in competition with Petco, PetSmart, and other small mom and pops places. But they're also like in competition with themselves, right? So if you don't have like that quality product that is really going to bring people in the door, because you could have a simple fish like the rummy nose tetras I got there. Let's say you had a lot of rummy nose tetras that were just beautiful. People would come in because they're like, I want rummy nose tetras. Those guys have the best. I'm going to go there. So if I was to be convincing somebody at a store of like, maybe you want some kind of standout products or something like that, I would look into how do you make the thing that you're already good at doing a better product. So let's say you had only like African cichlids or something like that. So you would need to do more frequent water changes, make sure your water quality is really good. You'd make sure that your food quality is really good for these fish, and the housing and everything for them is exactly the quality that they want them to be, right? You would want them to fall. You would want it to fall exactly to be the best product that you have. You could be selling like like Justin Woody says, you can get that real New York pizza slice. I mean, honestly, there's what's that place called? The Pizza Pie or something like that. There's like a Mod Pizza. They make the pizza like from scratch while you stand there. Like I think they're putting Sparrow out of business because of that. Oh, hold on. Somebody stealing a package? Talk amongst yourselves. Sorry about that, Internet. Sorry about that, Internet. As you guys know, we got some packages stolen the other day, so I wasn't sure what was going on. It was my lovely new mailman, who is very nice. He seems like a very delightful fella. And also, the reason I went to go get the packages is because this may or may not have something to do with you guys. If you happen to be fish tank people, I've ordered in 2 of these, the Atman CO2 diffuser. And I'm going to try one of these out because this might be a decent option for people out there. I want to test this out, see if it's a good deal. If anybody out there is super excited, I'll grab the link for you right now of literally what I'm holding in my hand. and be like, oh yeah, don't forget, guys, you got to go through my affiliate links, otherwise, blah 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 blah, whatever. Hey, if you guys want to go through my affiliate links, feel free. If you don't, and there's somebody else you want to do it for, do that. Out 100% respect and do that if that's what you want to do. If you don't want to go through mine, don't worry about it. Don't stress yourselves. I like it. I like it. Talk amongst yourselves. Yeah, you like that? So I literally I ordered in 2 of these, and I'm gonna try them out. I don't know. Mixed reviews from people. This might be a worthwhile diffuser. It might be a total disaster. Some people said yes. Some people said no. We shall see. Not. They might be good. They might be bad. I don't know. I don't know yet. I guess you guys can order them if you want to go down the path I'm about to go down at the same time. But should be fun. They were pretty cheap. I mean, 2 of them for $30 is really not that bad. I don't think. I don't think it was that bad. I think it was a pretty good deal. I think their thing is broken, and you actually get 2 of them for $30 right now. I don't know why. I don't know why that is, but I got 2. They sent me 2. I'm like, okay. Maybe it was just Atman being really cool, and they heard about my packages being stolen, and they're like, man, you know what? We're just going to send him an extra CO2 diffuser. Which, it's okay, but pretty funny. Ooh, excuse me. Steve Horton says I need to put the doggy cam by the door during the show. Yeah, I'm actually hooking up some new cameras. I saw Barbara Jackson in here earlier. She was asking about if this is the new office yet. No, this is not the new office. The new office will be way, way, way different looking. You'll know when that happens. And I really don't think I'd be the guy who'd just shrug it off. I don't think I would just shrug it off all nonchalant, like, it's always been like this in here. Yeah. And, where did my... Oh, I can answer Dan Squire's question pretty easily here. So, but I don't think I'd be that guy who would just be like, yeah, I did all this work and then just not mention it, but it'll look completely different. I haven't solidified the plans other than what Vicky wants down there. So Vicky Toria wants some special shelving and stuff like that will be going in. I was hoping to work on some of that this weekend. I'm hoping to work on some of that, and we shall see how it goes. I definitely plan on getting the electrical done this weekend. I need to run all of the wire, electrical, and all that kind of stuff down there, and probably get some of the framing done. And it's pretty cool. I've just been doing a lot of measuring and stuff to get the layout and stuff where things want to go and, where things want to end up being. You know what I mean? It's like I might want them to be somewhere, but it's like, you definitely do have to work within the space. So we're basically what Vicky and I are going to do for Christmas is we're going to ask all of our family members if they want to get us a new washer and dryer for Christmas. Are we parents now or what? I think we're parents hardcore. We'd be like, we want a Christmas present of washer and dryer. We want to do laundry. So that's our plan with that. And I don't necessarily want to frame out and build a bunch of stuff unless we know we're going to get them. And I did do some measuring and stuff as, because we'll probably end up just coming up with it. If it doesn't work out that way, we'll probably just do it ourselves. But I got some good measurements and stuff the other day, so I think I'm just going to frame it out like we're going to get new ones and then just do it that way. You know what I mean? So it's we're probably just going to go that route, I think. Madeline Monk is asking, how many rooms is in my house? Sounds like a lot. We actually have a 4-bedroom house here, and a basement. Our house is sneaky big. It's very sneaky when people come over to our house and they're like, I don't understand where we are right now because it doesn't look that big from the outside. And you're right. It doesn't look that big from the outside, but it's about 2,100 square feet. So it's not the biggest house in the world. And the upstairs is dormered. So, you have the short dormer walls, and then the ceiling goes up like that. So two of the rooms are upstairs like that. We did get the insulation done up there. We redid all the electrical up there and all that kind of stuff. So it is pretty nice. We're definitely enjoying, we're enjoying living here right now. It is fall time and the outside is kind of yucky, but we're definitely going to get more work done on that stuff over the winter. I don't know. I'm going to have to figure out how much work I can get done with the baby here. She might be super fussy. She might just be hard napping. Who knows? We'll figure it out, though. I'm going to get it. Oh. Madeline Monk says that's huge compared to California. Oh, trust me, I have seen lots of gigantic houses in California. Lots of gigantic houses. Although there are like 40 million houses there, so who knows. Aquatic Life MS going to ship some shrimp for the first time on Monday. Any tips or advice? Double bag with breather bags in a box and just pack the box pretty good. It's really not cold enough out anywhere for heat packs or any of that kind of nonsense. But just double bag it with breather bags and just pack the box real nice. You can use paper or whatever. Not really that big of a deal what kind of packing you use. Just make sure that bag's not moving around a ton in there. And generally speaking, you'll be fine. Vicky Toria is on her way home. Lovely. YouTube is telling me that I am live right now. Okay, thank you. Apparently there's... we got some posts to the Patreon. Nathaniel John posted his picture of his baby on the Patreon. Nice. I don't want to show you guys my phone right now. There. But it's on the Patreon. Nathaniel posted the picture of his daughter on his new baby on the Patreon. So if you guys want to go check that out, you can. Lloyd's Aquatics has loved the garden videos earlier in the year. How do you think the baby will affect your hobby? I'm expecting a boy in February and feel like I'm not going to have time for all the tanks I plan on. I feel like our daughter will probably affect, my hobby and stuff like that. But realistically, a big part of, this being my hobby, a big part of this is my career also, so as you guys know, I do go work construction jobs and stuff like that so that I can pay the bills so I can keep doing YouTube and stuff. I'm going to keep doing YouTube as much as I can. We'll see how it goes with the show and all that kind of stuff. And see what we can do and see what it goes forward. As you guys know, I pretty much have kind of downsized the amount of tanks that I have. Yes, there's a fair bit of work that goes into having them, but I think having too many tanks would be the biggest problem. The biggest problem would be just have so many different things to constantly do all of the time. And I forget who it was who was asking earlier about the rummy nose tetra. How many are in there now? Have there been any deaths? Yes, there actually have been some deaths with the rummy nose. So I would say about 40 of the original 250 have not made it for various reasons. A couple of them got stuck in some filter floss, and some of them just haven't made it. They haven't had any diseases or anything crazy like that. And I was going to order more rummy nose in, but there may be some secret surprises coming into that tank instead of the rummy nose. And so I'm going to hold off on ordering more of the rummy nose. So we'll see. We'll see what shakes out. Because I think there might be some really cool new additions that go in there. you know, secrets, surprises. You know what I'm saying. We do have a super chat here to grab from my boy, your boy, all of our boy, and Mr. Daniel Squires, a 5 pound. It's a 5 pounder. A 5 pound sterling, my boy. He says, any tips on slowing down a canister for a smaller tank? There are 2 ways that I would recommend to do that. One, you can step down the hoses, but you will always have a pressure point of contact from where the hose steps down to a smaller size. What I would personally do is find a small gate valve like this. You're going to obviously need a much smaller one. This one's pretty grande. I mean, there's my thumb inside there, right? So this one's 3/4 of an inch. I have no idea what that is in millimeters. Something. Maybe 3/4 of an inch is 24 millimeters. I don't know. Do I have a tape measure right here? Oh, yeah, we do right here. We have. Oh, I don't have. 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. See, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 30 millimeter is what this one is. It's hard to read. There's no millimeter markings on here. So you can actually step down the gate and knock it back a little bit. As Dan was saying, does it put extra strain on the pump? Yeah, of course it does. If you're going to use a piece of equipment that isn't necessarily made for the application, sometimes the sacrifice you got to make is a little bit of extra strain on the pump. Typically speaking, if you do put extra strain on the pump in something like a canister, the only thing that will ever give out is the impeller shaft itself. That'll normally get loose or something like that, or get messed up and doesn't work all that well. And from there, that's the cheapest thing to replace. So I wouldn't be super freaked out or anything like that. So I wouldn't be like 100% super freaked out by just putting a valve on there to impede the motor a little bit. But you can't impede the backside where it's drawing water from. You have to do it on the front side. So that's what I would do. I wouldn't step down the hose per se and use a smaller, thinner gauge hose, because that has a strong tendency to just apply pressure at that lower where it steps down, and realistically, it'll probably pop off. Honestly, I've seen that happen a lot of times, where the little piece just goes and pops out, and it squirts water, just drains the water all over the ground, and that's just So I would just go with the valve. Chad Krotz says you could always wire in a potentiometer. You could do that. I don't normally advise people to do electrical work unless you already know how to do it. So, and you technically can do something like a potentiometer on a DC pump, but not very often on an AC pump. So that's also one of those reasons that it's definitely one of the reasons that I use DC pumps now, because they almost always come with a controller, so I can actually just dial them down. And they've become a lot more affordable over the last years, and they use less power. So that's a double whammy of savings. Like, not only can I adjust it, but I can also save a lot of money off the power bill. So that's always good. Somebody was asking... I'm about there too, and wait, what? What's going on here? It would be great to meet you. The only derail could be her nephew. Okay, Nathaniel Johnson says having baby changes your schedule around some, but your tanks are full of pets. You are choosing to keep, so finding time to maintain isn't very hard. Yeah, I mean, maintaining my tanks these days is honestly really not that big of a task. It's just moving plants around and making videos and stuff like that. That's more time consuming than anything else. So maybe there'll be less Maybe there'll be less YouTube videos. Maybe there'll be more YouTube videos. I don't know. I don't really know what's going to happen. Kind of up in the air at this moment in regards to like knowing what is going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen with my schedule. I really don't know what's going to happen with work or income or any of that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like I don't know exactly what's going to happen. Certainly don't know the future. I know today. I know today what I'm supposed to do, and that's pretty much the deal. It's pretty much as much as I go into it as far as the thought process goes. Obviously, you guys know I'm mulling over the idea of the gimbal, and I think that is going to be an additional tool that will really help out with the baby here, to being able to film and stuff. So, and I also think that one of the cool things with the gimbal is, like, if I go out on walks and we go out on hikes and stuff like that, I can shoot a ton of that stuff, and I do know that I'm going to be shooting more of that in the future. So there ain't no way I'm letting my daughter be cooped up in the house all the time. You know, that would mean I'd have to be cooped up in the house all the time, and I don't much like the idea of that. Twin Red Dragons Brewery is asking, hello, Joel, from the UK. Have you kept bamboo shrimps? Yes, actually is bamboo shrimp in the 150 right now. I think one of the things is, hold on, let's see. Let's go to the Patreon. As I mentioned before, Patreon is confusing to people, freaks them out, and then they don't know what to do with themselves. But it's really not that big of an affront. Don't worry. Don't stress. Don't give yourself a hard time. One of the things about the Patreon is it's a crowdsourcing. That's how we crowdsource being able to do this show. As you guys know, as I expressed earlier in the show, this just really wouldn't have been possible without you guys all chipping in on the Patreon. And yeah, it's monumental. It's big. I almost said, I'm going to say gigantic. There we go. I like gigantic better. Drew Kaysen said, setting up a 120-gallon. That's not that one. We did have a question on here. The reason I went over here is because we did have a bamboo shrimp question. So I want to answer the bamboo shrimp questions at the same time. So we want to maintain our efficiency. Okay, Ollie H. had the same question that you did. It said, new additions to my home office cherry shrimp tank. I'm not sure how I should be feeding them. It's only a Fluval Edge 6, and with all the ever-breeding cherries, it's clean of biofilm and debris. I supplement the normal shrimp with catappa leaves and cucumber. So far, I've tried first fry food, and they seem to like it. I'm just worried about all the pollution in a small tank. All the best from the UK. So, Ollie had the same question, so I think let's answer both y'all's question all at the same time, and we'll just talk about our basic care. Does this... Oh, I can move the chat right over here. Oh, wow, that's crazy. It's the first time I've ever been able to do that. Okay, bamboo shrimp are fantastic little creatures. I love them. They are great. Vicky Toria loves them. There she is in the chat right there. Look out for her. Vampire shrimp. There will be bamboo shrimp in the 120. Yes, there will be bamboo shrimp in the 120. Now, they are fan feeders, okay? So those little things on their hands there, those fans, so they're basically like going like this, okay? They're opening that fan and they're catching stuff that floats by and grabbing it with the fan and getting themselves a little bit of food into their mouths. The best thing that I have found in the past is, as you mentioned, Ollie, fry food. Fry food distributes itself well. It kind of floats around in the water column. I used to grind up regular food and basically make it into fry food. That's one of the big differences. That's one of the main big differences between fry food and typical, fish feeding food. It's just ground up. It's just powder. So you can grind up regular stuff. Although in the UK, Dennerleigh does have has shrimp food that is specific to the bamboo shrimp. And one of the things that I noticed is that the Shrimp King food was super affordable in Europe. When we were out in Europe, I was like, what? I should buy all of this food and bring it back for me. You know, I was like, man, I should bring all this food back because it was way cheap, because there was some kind of weird import situation. So those of you in the U.S., I would stay tuned as far as the Shrimp King food and stuff like that. I think the prices will kind of level out closer to the UK prices, and everything will make sense shortly. But I know from talking specifically with Luke Up that this is like they have that specific food for the bamboo shrimp. And that works pretty awesome. And then another one out there that might be reasonable to order, like if you do, gosh, how do I do, I wonder if, does this get weird? No, it doesn't get weird. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure that we don't lose the deal there. So let me see. Can you even? Yeah. See, so even if you go, like the Shrimp King's about $20. You know, it's a little bit high as far as I'm concerned. But that's the U.S. Right now. And then where did it go? I need where did it go? It will be just a second. I will find it for you. Oh, here it is. Okay, so the Masura, probably saying that wrong, but this shrimp food right here is a so that shrimp food right there is a great shrimp food for not only the crystal shrimp that's on the cover, but it's a great shrimp for the bamboozlers, as you say. And then there is another one, which is Shirakura, which this one I used to use this one on a regular basis, and as I said before, I would grind it up. I would grind it up and make it into a powder. So I would utilize that in the past. I've definitely done both of those in the past, and they worked out fantastically. So those are some things that I could recommend. And other than that, I would say that like if you're in so Alim is in United Emirates. I forget what is it? It's the United something Emirates. I forget. Hold on. UAE. Where did the Y get in there? United Arab Emirates. There we go. So maybe Shrimp King. You guys might be able to get Shrimp King in the United Arab Emirates. You might be able to get it there. Obviously, that's much closer to Germany, so that might be okay. I'm not 100% what's available in the Middle East. You know, I haven't even gotten a chance to go to the Middle East, so I haven't been able to see like what's in the stores or what they got. Alim says we'll stock up on rapashi and other foods I'd love to get. That is one thing that I could kind of recommend to take into consideration, would be like maybe utilize some dry rapashi. That might be a way to go about it that could work, and has worked a little bit in the past. Maybe not the best though. So keep your expectations low on that one. But Rapashi, if you do make it, remember, you're going to have to break it up into the water column for the bamboo shrimps. All right, let's go down here and answer a couple other questions. Oh, wait, we got a super chat. Oh, no, we got a super chat from the fishy mailman. Nitrate removal funds for the wee baby, a.k.a. diapers. Is that the $10 for the diaper action? $10 for the nitrate removal. Well, that's nitrite and ammonia that we're going to have to be removing. So, yeah. As Natural Aquarium says, it would be very cool to see how fish keeping is done in the Middle East. I would love it. I would love to go do that. That would be amazing. I would love to go check out some of the aquariums and things out there, especially in like some of the big cities out there have some cool stuff going on. That is for sure. I'm not going to say anywhere specific, but there are definitely some really cool aquariums out in the Middle East, if you know. Drew Kassan says, setting up 120 gallon. I just bought. Next biggest tank is a 55. I need to pick up a heater, and I love the Fluval E200. As a matter of fact, I love those heaters too, and I just put one into the sump on my 120. So we shall find out if my advice is correct, but let's continue on. I am guessing the E300 isn't large enough on its own. Tank sits in my basement at 65 to 68 degrees down there, so I'm looking for some advice on what I should buy. 2 E200s or 2 E300s, or maybe one of each. Okay, if I was going to be buying heaters, always buy the same size. Like if you need 2 heaters for a tank, buy the same size. So don't buy one or the other really ever. Now, the E-Series Fluval heaters I have found to be pretty darn good. They haven't been bad. They haven't broken. They haven't given out. They still are working. Although, if I'm only a year in, it hasn't been that long. So, but I've just only seen them be working. Now, I put one E200 in the 120, and I probably will be adding one more to it, maybe. They actually do more than their rating. And don't quote me on that, but they actually do a lot more heating than the actual rating on the box. They're quite conservative on the box, but for the 120s, I'm expecting to have to get another of the 200. I'm expecting to have to get another one for that, and I'm just going to run them in the sump tandem. So hopefully that's enough for you, and hopefully that's enough for me. If you have space for 2 of the E300s, what I personally would do is get one of the E300s and then see how well it does heating the water. If the water's at the right temperature, then who cares? It's just working good. And maybe buy a spare one as a backup and just go that route. That's what I would do. I always have spare heaters around. Always have a spare brand new heater around. I highly recommend that to anybody. Hex Tank Apologist. Oh, yeah, with the Dwight Schrute. He's got the Dwight Schrute avatar, and it just makes me laugh just about every time. Okay, contrary to what you might expect, I do have one of the inferior rectangular-shaped aquariums. Here's my 10-gallon tank, 10-gallon low-light tank. Wish it was a hex, but gotta work with what you get. My any scape suggestions. I do have some hardscape, a big piece of Malaysian driftwood on the right. You just can't see it due to the lighting and plants. Java fern, various anubias, various boos, crypt wendetii. Uh-oh, I got to get ready to get out of here. Crypt wendetii, parva, water wisteria, and some Amazon swords were in the back, but not getting enough light. Almost tossed them, but decided to put them in the front for some more light. Oh, and meet Jewel, the paradise fish and vanquisher of all life in the aquarium. He's a rescue. You guys know I love paradise fish. Big soft spot in my heart for the paradise fish. I love them very much. As far as scaping goes here, I don't know that I have great advice as far as somebody else's aquascape. It's sort of like me stepping in and being like, yeah, you got to change this on your painting, and you got to do this on your painting, and your artwork, you should be like this. I always feel kind of weird about it. So, I think you're on the right track here. And by that, I mean, like, you're already in the thought process of like, I got to move some stuff around. But first and foremost, I would expose the driftwood, figure out where the driftwood's going to go, figure out where your plants are growing well for you. And if you may have to adjust your scape because, as you said in the post there, you're not getting enough light, right? Like maybe you're not getting enough light and you're going to need to accommodate for that, right? So I would figure out, it seems like you already know the answers about what's getting enough light where and that kind of stuff. I would uncover the driftwood, make sure that, and use that as some kind of highlight piece in here. 10-gallon tanks to me are a lot of fun to do, mainly because they're just so small, and it's like, oh, it's super easy. Johan, who's always posting up some good stuff, he's got, man, look at this cool system. I really like this thing. He's got the side sump built into the tank. I never expected to see this today, but that's what's up. He has a sump constructed in the aquarium. I think it works fine. Any thoughts, suggestions, or improvements for next time? Well, I think the basic improvement for next time, I would not have this U-pipe that's going over the glass. I would drill for a bulkhead, have that go in there. And I would also think of some kind of black surface to cover it up so that you could see it from the outside, but not from the inside of the tank. That's what I would do, biggest improvement-wise. The openings look legit. Looks fairly easy to get in there and change the pads and stuff like that. So that seems to be pretty straightforward and making sense. I'm not sure if it's the overflow goes here and then down and then back up. I think that's what's happening. So you do have enough filter floss and stuff like that before you're getting to the media, so the media doesn't get all junky like mine. And so it looks like you're going pretty good. Johan also sent in the fish of the week, the green swordtail, and I'm not even going to try and say that one. They are found in North and Central America. The green swordtail is moderate in size with a sturdy, elongated body. Females are larger, reaching up to 6.3 inches in length, while the males are somewhat smaller at 5.5 inches. Along with mollies, guppies, and platyfish, the swordtail is a member of the, I can never say this right, Posilidae. I don't know. I think it's Posilidae, but I'm probably 100% wrong. As I mentioned before, I read all this stuff in my head a lot, but I never hardly ever say anything out loud. Maybe I should start reading to myself out loud or something. Maybe get better at, I don't know. I probably just would be saying them wrong when I was reading out loud. But either way, of live-bearing tooth carps, which are distinguished by having teeth in both their upper and lower jaws. Very sneaky little swordtails. I am not a big fan of swordtails. I don't think that people are too shocked to find that out, as you guys have really never seen me do much with swordtails. I have had some swords a couple of times, but nothing in depth that I would really consider myself any kind of really know-it-all or anything like that. They're just nothing wrong with these fish. They just aren't my favorite. But this is a stunning example of the green one. Like, look at this. That's pretty amazed. He always has some good shots he's sending in. The fishy mailman posted up surprises. I was doing some long overdue tank maintenance and noticed a few of these fry. They're either dwarf cories, dwarf claroplacos, or panda loaches. I'm leaning towards cories, but a second opinion would be great. They do look like little cory fry. But they could be pleco fry. But from this, they really do look like cory fry to me. If you guys could pop in, take a look, and possibly, help ID some of these little fry here, and we'll be able to hopefully come up with some kind of consensus. And at the very least, we have a picture now of them this big, and then as they grow out, we'll be able to go like, oh, dude. Oh, dude. Right? And then you'll be like, oh, my bros. Now we know. And we'll have the initial picture, and then we'll have the later on picture, and then we'll be like, psh, now we know how to ID that all the time. Let's see. Who posted this up? Rhombus himself says, haven't kept shrimps that long, so need to ask. First of two questions. This is a younger shrimp, but soon adult-ish. This is a shrimp I should cull if I want to maintain quality-ish cherry shrimp line. So he's asking, should we cull this shrimp because it is not that fantastic? This is a male cherry shrimp. Very sneaky little male here. And yes, the males are almost always lower quality, right? They're almost always low quality because the males aren't trying to attract anybody. The females are always trying to attract somebody. So the culling, as far as these shrimp would go, I would say this is kind of on the cusp, even for a male. The males aren't always going to be that crazy good looking. They just generally aren't because, like I said, they're not trying to attract a mate. The females are trying to attract a mate, so that's why they're brightly colored. The males are generally a little more see-through and clear, so they can't. So there's less chance of them being eaten. Now, here we have another example right here. In this tank, there's both crystal red shrimp and cherry shrimp, because this be a young crystal shrimp, or is another cherry to cull. I have another that looks just like this one. Perhaps the other has a little more distinct red patches. So this looks a little bit out of focus, but this does look like a young Amano shrimp, actually. Just on initial look, if we could get like just a perfect side shot, it would be easier to identify it. But honestly, at this point, it looks a lot like an Amano shrimp. It has some of the distinct markings, but it is a bit out of focus to actually like see the shell plates and stuff. But if it does in fact actually end up being a cherry shrimp, that is like the drabbest cherry shrimp of all time. So yes, I would probably take that one out, honestly. And we did the bamboo shrimp already, and all the way up to the top here with Ollie H saying, bad, good, having a desk tank. Bad, finding myself getting lost in this tank when I'm stuck on a call and I don't want to be in and not paying attention. Good, finding myself getting lost in this tank when I'm stuck on a call and I don't want to be in and not paying attention. Beautiful desk tank, Ollie. I much appreciate it. And yes, that is the good, and yes, that is the bad of getting 100% distracted by your awesome fish tank at your desk. Can be... it can affect your productivity at work if that's the case from time to time. But you always got to think, hey, it's a quick pick-me-up when I'm not feeling that great. You know, maybe that's good. I don't know. Okay. Now, I got some good news. I got some bad news. The bad news is I have to go in 38 seconds, basically. The good news is it's because I have to take little Miss Biddy Brown. Where are you, Biddy Brown? Little Biddy Brown and I have to go to the vet. She's been having some skin problems, and we're going to sort that out. But another portion of the good news is KG Tropicals is about to premiere a new video. So, hey, there's something to bide your time. Roll over to KG Tropicals and check that out, and you'll be able to at least not be bored out of your mind for a little while, and so that's good news, right? I want to thank everybody for all of your super chats today. Super awesome. Thank you very much. Like I always say, I'm always astounded that people even really want to support. Look at those big dips in the... Wow. I wonder what happened at these 3 points in the live stream where just tons of people left. That's funny. So we went from 130 people to 90. I don't know. Something happened at certain specific points in time. But I want to say thanks to all the super chatters of the day: Rhombus, Pete Berlinski, the Zombie Drummer, M. Howie9, Daryl Deemer, Miss Lininator, Dan Squires, and the Fishy Mailman. Whoa, it's crazy over the top super chatting today, you guys. Thank you. I'd also like to say thanks for everybody that is so, utilizing. Where'd my thing go here? All right, here we go. Yeah, there we go. Anybody that's headed over to Aquarium Co-op, please use that link, and then the code is BF Plants 20. There we go. Best Friends Plants 20 is what it's abbreviated for. Use that code, you get 20% off over there. Just hammer those guys with orders. It's time to get a bunch of plants in your tank. You know it, I know it. Let's not ignore it. Let's not ignore that thing. And blah 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 blah. Don't go crazy this weekend. Let's see. If this video, let's say, okay, here we go. If this video gets 500 likes and 100 comments from more than one person, I'll do an extra live stream this weekend to make up for not being here on Monday. 500 likes and 100 comments. I'll do an extra live stream. If not, I'll see y'all on Monday and quit tripping. Later.